Hey guys, Voice of the Voiceless here with my third video, and before I get started, I just want to make a couple announcements. The trades are going in, and people are getting them through, and just let you know that I still have some stuff available, ready for trade, and just check out my trade video. Check out my other two videos if you are new to my channel. I think they're pretty good, so but I want to start off with this is gonna be my first review video of a newer show, and my first. I have some pickups you could say, but they're really in the mail from a trade. So I'll start with the pickups I got from Kick-Ass Productions, which I'll put as a link in the channel. I got both Royal Rumble 2012 and Extreme Rules 2012. Brand new, sealed. I've opened them up and watched them already. Great events, especially Extreme Rules. And yeah, I traded one of my copies of Greatest Superstars of WrestleMania, and I traded what was it? Oh, Greatest Pay-Per-View Matches of 2009, 2010. So, if you haven't already, which you probably everyone knows Kick-Ass. He's a great YouTuber, makes great videos. But check out his channel if you haven't. He's a very good. I'll put his link in the description eventually too. So, but I'm pretty sure you guys all checked him out. So, yeah, I got him in the mail. So, yeah, it's perfect. That's what I was expecting. It was perfect. So, but and he got exactly what he wanted. If you check out his video and check it and see it. So, but just to make this video a little more exciting, a little more longer, I wanted to add I want to do a review of a show that just happened, TNA No Surrender. I just thought of this because I'm hoping to do some more videos later on. I apologize if I haven't really been going with my promises. I've been very busy with school, and school just started a week ago, and it's just been very busy, hectic. So I've been having a lot of time with wrestling and YouTube, but I want to start with a review of TNA No Surrender, which is free on television. What they've been doing on TNA, if you guys don't really follow, is they do these free, what used to be pay-per-views, they're doing them free on Spike TV, just because they think they're losing money and they just want to give it to the fans for free. It's a lot like what WCW did with their Clash of the Champions, free pay-per-view caliber stuff. And Destination X was alright, Hardcore Justice was alright, but I had really high expectations for TNA expectations for No Surrender, just because of the matches we already seen in the final four of the Bound for Glory series, which was AJ Styles, Austin Aries, Bobby Roode, and Magnus. So I had high expectations. It was in the world title match, but I was like, this will probably be the best show TNA puts on all year, maybe besides Bound for Glory, but it hasn't happened yet, so I'm not going to say anything. But this event started off, it's in St. Louis, very good wrestling town. It starts off with Bully Ray coming out and talking about he wants to put everything aside with Anderson, and which was really good. But then Hulk Hogan came out, and it was really awkward because it seemed like the whole segment was really scripted. Like it wasn't like a real conversation. Didn't go with the flow. It seemed very scripted and acted out. And then Anderson came out, and like it was really awkward because it seemed like they were friends, which didn't make sense since Anderson went ballistic on him the week before. But then he came out, and then he punched Bully in the face, and he's like, "Oh, I'm challenging for the title, and I'm gonna win it," and stuff like that. So basically, people are cheering for Anderson. I'm a huge Anderson fan. He's from my state, Wisconsin, Green Bay. He lives probably 30 miles from where I live, so huge Anderson fan, Mr. Kennedy, whatever you like to call him. And yeah, that's how it started. But then we go into the first match. There was actually only 4 matches in this whole card, believe it or not. But we had the first match, which was AJ Styles and Austin Aries. And the background between these two in the Bound for Glory series, AJ Styles is that lone wolf. But for some reason, it sort of killed off his thing, because everyone thought he was going to be like Sting in WCW. But then it sort of killed him off, and he just went back to the Phenomenal one, but he's like halfway. It's really weird. I don't know what they're doing with AJ Styles, but people are still liking him. So, and Austin Aries, he has a sort of a lone wolf thing, but he doesn't want to join a group. He believes he can do it by himself. And honestly, Austin Aries is one of my favorite wrestlers right now in both WWE and TNA. So I really like Austin Aries. I sort of predicted who would win the series, the whole Bound for Glory series, but if there's one guy I wanted to win, it would definitely be Austin Aries. Just what he can do, and just he's very underrated. But basically this match was much like it's a little bit slower than their first. If you guys watched their first match on TNA on Impact a couple of weeks ago, it was very good. Very few botches. Styles really knows what he's doing. They have great chemistry, but this match was a little bit slower, but the finish was definitely great. AJ Styles pulls up the victory with a Styles Clash from the top rope. A very good match. Probably, I would rate their first match in TNA a couple weeks ago probably a 9 out of 10 from TNA standards, but this one I would rank probably an 8 out of 10, 7.5 out of 10. So we go off with a couple segments. I don't oh yeah, it was just Bully in the back, just like going crazy on aces and eights and how he's going to destroy Anderson and Hulk Hogan. And then we see, I don't know where this was, but then Manic goes to Hogan. He's like, oh, I want a match with Jeff Hardy. Make it happen next week, which I can't wait. That's going to be a good match. But then our next match which is Bobby Roode versus Magnus. This match was a little bit shorter than the first match of the night, but it showed how these two guys told a story, and it had a lot of submission moves. Magnus with the cloverleaf, Roode with the crossface, and very back and forth. Roode really wanted to win. He was going crazy. He wanted Magnus to get out first, and but it was the only bad thing about it had a really weird finish. Magnus was just on fire, and then all of a sudden he just double legs Roode, gets the jackknife cover, and then wins. It's like, all right. He sort of just built up us to this end just for a dopey end. It was just really, at least he could have given him his finisher or something. But then essentially Roode gets pissed off, and then him and Daniels and Kazarian, or Ego, that's what they call themselves, the Extraordinary Gentlemen's Association, or organization. Extraordinary Gentlemen's Organization. I love that name. But anyway, they just say like, oh, we're gonna ruin the main event. We're gonna ruin what Hulk Hogan wanted. So basically, now next is the TNA World Heavyweight Title match, which is now a Last Man Standing match made by Hulk Hogan. And it starts out, both come out. Kennedy is already on the offensive. He wants Bully more than anything. He wants it all. He wants the title. They're fighting out, and honestly, it was just a lot of brawling, very WWE attitude stuff, where it's just the brawling in the crowd and all over the ring area and stuff like that. And then some chair shots, and Anderson's very on the offensive. Then Bully gets the advantage. But then it goes back and forth, and then Bully sort of tries to intimidate Earl Hebner, and just like old school Earl Hebner, he's not intimidated. He pushes Bully back, and Bully knocks him out. So, and then Anderson hits his finisher, the mic check on Bully, as I can remember, and he can't count the 10 because Hebner's knocked out. So basically, then Aces and Eights, the rest of the guys who are left, comes out, and like, they seem like, oh, they're going to help out Anderson. Where with Anderson instead of Bully, then Techmocker comes out, low blows Anderson, which was sort of epic. And then they do this I don't even know what they were thinking with this, but they did a triple powerbomb, like the Shield in WWE. Like, I'm just like, well, are you kidding me? You're trying to pull that off? But then it's like, oh, then it seemed like Bully was going to win. Anderson barely gets up at like the 9 count when Hebner gets up. I think Aces and Eights disappear for some reason. Then Bully gets his like big rusty chain out, and then he knocks out Anderson, who's like bleeding like on top of his forehead. I'm like, oh god, this is over. Anderson still gets up after that. It was crazy. He gets up, and then he's just like, come at. He's like, and then there's a table in the corner. He's just like, come at me. And then Bully just spears, like, he tackles, spears whatever you want to call it, Anderson right through this table, and the table goes everywhere, and Anderson's just like leaning against the table like this, like he's dead. And I loved how the match. I won't remember the whole match, but I'll remember the last three things that happened: the power bomb, the chain, and and the table. Just how Anderson got beaten up and took the beating. It was really cool how TNA did that. They established Anderson as the face now of how he can take a beating from Bully and Aces and Eights. Bully gets the 10 count and wins. And then he beats up Anderson after the match, establishes his dominating heel on his way to Bound for Glory, which is perfectly how they set that up, because he should be the dominating heel. I loved how TNA set him up. Bully's always been a good talker, even with the Dudley Boys. He's been the voice of the group. I liked how they set him up as heel. He got really in shape, really healthy. He's not as fat. He's really muscular now, and for the past 2 years, they've been setting up this like lone wolf, one-man wrecking crew, and then they put him in Aces and Eights, and it sort of ruined like how great of a heel Bully was. Now it seemed like he needed other guys to do his work. It just seemed, but after that, it's sort of even though he's going crazy as the dumb girlfriend thing, it's turning him to that dominating, vicious heel. He wants to keep his title. So, I liked how they made Anderson into the face. So, that's the only thing I'll remember from that last man standing match. Pretty good, just because of that. If you guys haven't seen it, just check it out, please. It's a great ending. But anyway, that'll be on our last match, which is AJ Styles versus Magnus in the main event. Oh wait, before that, there was a tag team, not a tag team match, but basically, Gunner and Storm came out, and they were just challenging anybody, and then Chavo and Hernandez came out and basically accepted the challenge, and they're gonna have a series of matches. It'll probably end up Bound for Glory in a huge feud. So for the tag team titles, tag team titles has sort of been, I don't even know the last time they've been defended. I don't even know. Probably maybe Slammiversary. It's been that long, seriously. But anyway, so we're on to our main event, Bound for Glory series finals, which is AJ Styles versus Magnus. I loved how they set this up because nobody really predicted, because the two people predicted to win the whole series was Magnus and AJ Styles, just because Magnus was the young, up-and-coming future of the company in the main event Mafia now, and AJ Styles is the lone wolf Sting story. Plus, he couldn't get a world title match at Bound for Glory. I had an idea that Styles was probably going to pick up the win, especially when he got in first place in the series. So he very back and forth. Magnus tries to keep it at his pace for most of the match, and Styles just goes. He takes a lot of Magnus's submissions and whatnot, and then all of a sudden Ego comes out and just tries to ruin the match, but they didn't call any disqualification. They just kept the match going, very back and forth. And then AJ Styles did his he somehow got Magnus on the ground, and then he did his move out the top rope, which is like a 450 corkscrew, but he lands on his back on Magnus's torso. So very good finisher. It's an old school finisher because they had a name to it, so I know it was old school. I've been watching TNA since 2006, 2007, but I don't remember him using that move, so I don't know. But anyway, it was cool seeing Styles get the win. He does a little talk thing afterwards saying he's going to take back the title, and which is cool because now AJ Styles is finally getting his main event at Bound for Glory after being there at the very beginning. He's getting his title shot at Bound for Glory, which is going to be awesome. I don't know if I'll probably not get the pay-per-view, but it's really cool to see AJ Styles in that situation because he should have deserved it the first Bound for Glory. So overall, the show didn't really disappoint me. Some of the matches weren't as good as I was anticipating, but it's TNA, and I was pretty impressed by it. So by what they did, and very cool how they connected all the stories, and very good momentum heading for Bound for Glory. So that's the end of my review. I want to thank you guys for watching if you stuck in there. If you haven't already, like this video and subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to the people I told you, which is Kick-Ass Productions, and I'll put WWE Fig's channel there because he deserves a little bit more. But yeah, just do all that stuff and everything is good. I'll do it back. I'll just subscribe to you guys back if you need subscribers, and tell your friends and everything. So thanks for watching my video. See ya.